Okay, this is the water separator fuel filter housing off my 1997 Ford Power Stroke. I needed to change the filter, and I needed to change the fuel pump because it was leaking, so I took this completely out. I thought I would just clean it up out here on the bench. So the first thing I did after taking it off, and the way this is the drain for the bowl. When you open this up, the bowl drains through here. It's connected with a tube. It goes down the front of the engine. I put a longer hose on it and drained it into a bucket instead of just draining it down the engine. I got this thing completely drained off the truck, and then I disconnected this. Must be the fuel regulator, I'm not sure, but the way this came off was this part here goes into here, and it's on, goes on like this, and it has two 10mm bolts that run through here. One's longer than the other, one here, one here. The way it returns fuel back to the tank is it goes out this hole back into here and returns to the tank, I think, either probably by this line, because this one comes down here and goes back to the fuel pump, I believe. Maybe not, I think it does. Anyway, I took this off. This comes off of here. It has a snap ring that goes on here to hold it into this. And so there's a screen right here that was all plugged up. So I cleaned that screen, and I also took this out. It's like a little filter. Cleaned that. Cleaned everything up here, blew air through it, made sure everything was clean. Put this back in. There's an O-ring that goes on here, and there's an O-ring that goes on here. So when I get done cleaning this up, clean this whole thing up, because it has all kinds of stuff that's just falling out of it. This kind of stuff that's down the bottom of it. So I want to get it all clean. If you can see down in there, it's pretty messy. I'm gonna try not to use too much brake cleaner or anything like that. There's a heater down in the bottom of this bowl. And there's a sensor down in here too to detect water. So I think this is the heater, and I think that's the one that detects the water. I think those are the only connections up there. So we'll get this cleaned up, put a new filter in it, put it aside. Hey, we got this clean inside now. Shine my light in there. It's nice and clean. Cleaned everything up. So now we'll start putting it back together. What we do is put the drain back on. There, clean the O-rings. Changed these a few years back, and they're fine. That's drain. That's closed. Let's see about putting this back on there. Screen's back in. This thing's all clean. There's 2 O-rings that have to go on. And hopefully they haven't swelled up or anything. I didn't clean them in anything. You know, I didn't use brake cleaner, anything like that. So I thought they might swell up. Looks like the long one goes on top. This is what I cleaned everything with. I'm going to get this snap ring back in there. The snap ring goes right in here. And I finally got it in there. Ended up having to turn put the part where the pliers go over here and turn it. And finally it went underneath. And it is underneath there. Pressure on that O-ring, I guess. I got that O-ring is in there. These are tight. You gotta tighten those down a little more. Tight as you can get them without breaking them off. This is what I used to clean it with. This stuff cleans things up really good. Oil eater